Hey guys, Tesla had their Q4 earnings yesterday. Today I wanted to talk about some of the highlights from it and some of my thoughts surrounding different things. I've got my notepad here with some key points jotted down just so we don't forget anything, but let's start in the most obvious place, and that is that they missed estimates. There's no denying it. We can see here that actually they missed EPS and revenue, which obviously is now playing a massive role in what's happening after hours, what's happening pre-market in the stock price. I'm in the UK and I'm filming this on the 25th of January, and at the current time of filming, the stock is at 191.91 pre-market, down by 7.66%. So sub $200 per share. I guess it was always expected, most of the time, in the majority of cases, after Tesla earnings, the stock does fall. That's what the historical data shows us. Typically as well, after earnings, even if most of the things in the earnings call were very positive and very good, what we tend to see is that the media, the mass media, report very negatively about Tesla. Obviously, then the stock price does get hit quite hard. Wall Street analysts have trouble with Tesla at the best of times. So when they miss the estimates and the numbers aren't quite there and they don't really look to the future, again, Tesla stock gets hit hard. It's expected, it's what's happening. For a lot of Tesla investors that have been waiting for a dip, this might be your opportunity. Those people that have been saying, I really want to own Tesla, I really see the potential in this company, but it's too expensive, I'm going to wait till it dips. It's dipping. So those of you who now buy it, good on you. Those of you who shy away based on what Wall Street are saying, just do your own research and decide for yourself. But the point is, we have to remember that Q4 earnings are reporting on what happened in Q3. Q3, for everyone, was a really difficult time. The macro was tough, and that really showed for Tesla. Interest rates were difficult. There was a lot of things going on in the world that did make supply chain issues, that did cause costs. Like there was loads of stuff happening, wars, everything that happened. It is going to have a knock-on impact. But remember, the macro market is cyclical. These things don't just continue, it cycles. And there will be a better time ahead for Tesla and other companies in the future. It's inevitable. So what I think we will see is that actually in Q4, in Q4, we will see easier times. And then that will be reported in the next earnings, if that makes sense. So it's all kind of delayed. I guess with earnings, it's delayed gratification. Yeah, let's move on. So that was the high level, more negative takeaway from the call. But actually, baked into all of that, that's what a lot of people see, and that's what a lot of articles are going to come out and say today, I'm sure. But baked into all of that was actually a lot of good, a lot of really positive things. So one thing that I wrote down here is that financially speaking, Tesla are so strong. They have nearly $30 billion sitting in cash with basically no debt. Okay, two things here. Number one, that means, like I said, they are financially strong. It allows them to get through difficult macro times. And that's really important. But secondly, and I've seen this from a lot of people actually saying this, maybe now is the time that we would expect to see them actually using some of that cash reserve. They've got a lot of cash sitting there, and I think that they should keep the blanket, like an emergency fund that us investors have. But maybe they should use more of it, perhaps for advertising. Oh, controversial. I don't really think Tesla need to put much money into advertising at all, but they could put a little bit more money maybe into educating people about EVs, because a lot of people still have reserve. They still have reservations, about moving from ICE vehicles to electric vehicles, charging issues, costs, all of these things. And maybe they could put some money into educating. I don't know. Let me know what you think they should spend money on, if you think they should. But yeah, definitely not saying they should spend all their money. Just maybe we might expect to see some of that money being utilized for certain things in the future. Let's move on to the next thing, which is, in my opinion, one of the greatest things that we saw in this earnings call. Energy sector. Wow. We've already been seeing the energy sector showing phenomenal growth And we've kind of been able to project where it's going in the future. And every time we have an earnings call and we're able to actually see the numbers to satisfy our predictions, it's incredible. Because what we are seeing, although energy sounds like boring, right? What we are seeing is their energy storage business in particular, megapacks, absolutely, crazy, massive success. And when I think about the S-curves of Tesla, energy being one of them, and I made a whole video on this, I'm not sure which order they'll come out. If it's out, I'll link it on the screen now. If you're watching this after the day that I release it, it's probably already out, so go and check on the channel. The energy S-curve of Tesla is going to be bigger than their EV section, and it is only just beginning. An S is this shape, and the S-curve shows the early adoption, then the rapid acceleration, and then the maturation, saturation point. The energy segment of Tesla is very much in the early stages. And we're already seeing just how big it can become. The whole world, bit of a tangent here, but if you think about it, one of the problems that it's solving is the ability to store alternative sustainable energy. We don't really have that as a population right now. What we have is ability to maybe store non-alternative, non-sustainable energy, but as the world makes a shift to sustainable energy, we need a way to store it. Tesla and their megapacks in particular, they are solving a problem, and they're doing it early on. They're seeing that problem, they're developing the solution before others are. That puts them in a very, very high demand position. And if you try and order a megapack, you can see how in demand they are. They're backlogged. They're completely backlogged right now. People need them because they're realizing they need them and they can't get hold of them. Anyway, I do like to ramble on this channel. Big success in the energy business. We saw that it is up by 54% year over year. And clearly it is showing faster growth than the auto segment of Tesla, which is kind of what we expected. The EV section isn't by no means at the point of saturation. It's still in the rapid growth stage. But right now, what we are seeing is that energy is the area that's growing faster. Now, just to put this into perspective for you, the energy generation and storage profits basically quadrupled in 2023. Now moving on to cost of goods sold, which is basically the cost of producing goods sold by a company, is literally what it says. How much does it cost for that company to produce that thing? Now, what we have seen with Tesla time and time again, and I'll try and throw up a chart on the screen now because there is definitely one, is that cost of goods sold is reducing as time goes on. That's really, that's quite a positive thing, but it's also quite a unique thing. We have to ask ourselves, what other companies producing EVs or producing vehicles, full stop, no matter if they're EVs or not, have been able to keep reducing their cost of goods sold? I don't know of any that continuously are able to do this. And I think that is because Tesla aren't a car company. Oh, revolutionary statement from me there, I know. But they're not a car company. They are able to manufacture and improve their manufacturing efficiencies like no one else. And to break this down even more simply, they have managed to reduce the cost of producing a vehicle by $3,000, around $3,000 over the last year. So then FSD. We have seen that in the last few days, FSD version 12 has been given to a select number of non-Tesla employees. Very, very few number. And those that were given this have been able to go out and test it. And what we're seeing from Elon himself saying this and people that have actually, tried it, is that this is the biggest jump by iteration that we've seen in terms of progress. They have managed to remove thousands of lines of rule-based code, autonomy end to end. They're really, really progressing this fast. And we learned yesterday, this version 12 FSD will now be rolled out to the whole of North America in the upcoming few weeks. So they are making significant progress in terms of reliability, in terms of safety, and they're ready to give this to more people. And it's only going to be a matter of time until other automakers are actually turning to Tesla and wanting to license their FSD software, We've seen it happen with the North American charging standard. Everyone's adopting that. Everyone wants access for their customers to Tesla's supercharging network because of how valuable it is, because of how far ahead they are. It's going to happen with FSD. We just need to wait until the point in time where it becomes so useful and so valuable that other companies are forced to either develop their own or license from Tesla. And it's kind of a clear decision as to which route you would go down, or route, if you're in America, which route you would go down. Next gen platform. This was another big takeaway from this earnings call. They are making very good progress. And, you know, for a long time, the Tesla community have been speaking about the mass affordable next gen vehicle, compact car under 25K, however you want to categorize it. But we've not really heard that much in terms of confirmation. They've been very smart about this. I think in the background, they've been doing their thing. They've been working on it, but now it's making good progress. And I think they said that they will start production in the second half of 2025. So it's coming really, really soon. It seems like they are working on this with full speed, but it's also evident that it might take a little bit longer just due to the revolutionary ways that they're going to be manufacturing this. Of course, with a mass affordable vehicle, to be able to sell it for cheaper, you need to be able to produce it for cheaper. Tesla are already years ahead of other companies in terms of their manufacturing abilities, their efficiencies, but they still need to make those improvements to be able to roll out a mass affordable EV. And this leads on to something else that has been mentioned, that they are now between two major growth waves. And the next one that they will go on, so the next growth wave that they will go on, will be initiated by this next gen vehicle. And again, this leads into the whole S-curves, the successive progression between one S-curve and the next. And Tesla is a company that have multiple S-curves, which is again quite unique. Had a little bit of commentary about the Cybertruck. Of course, we've heard quite a lot about it in recent months, but basically the demand and the conversion rate for this vehicle, which by the way, remember, this is entering a whole new market, the trucking market. Tesla's never been in that before, is really, really strong. So I think it's fair to say that 2024 should be a really, really big year for this vehicle. And we were given the information that the 4680 batteries will not be a limiting factor for the production of the Cybertruck, which is really, really promising. We also heard that the gross profit of services and other, that business segment of Tesla, went from a minus $500 million, so a loss in 2019, to around plus 500 million in profit in 2023. So from 2019 to 23, which is not that long, they went from about minus 500 to plus $500 million, which is a big turnaround. And I think a lot of that is coming from their charging network. And I only see that actually increasing as they expand their network. You know, they sell more of the hardware, which we're already seeing, which is quite interesting. Other companies want to adopt the North American charging standard, and therefore their customers will be able to use the Tesla's charging network. It's a very interesting business area, and I think it will really, really grow out as what I've just said happens. Moving on to our good friend Optimus. We have to appreciate how far Optimus has come. I saw a picture, and I'll put it on the screen now. I've got it in front of me. In 2022, September 2022, when they released the Bumblebee version, people were sort of like laughing at Tesla, like, what are they on about? Especially when we had the person coming on stage dressed as a robot. It was a little bit cheap. It was a little bit funny. But actually, since then, look at all the progress they've made to what we're at now. Which, we've had a few videos recently. We've had the Tesla bot actually sorting the Lego blocks. We've had it folding t-shirts very, very recently. It is clearly developing, advancing at quite a rapid speed. And Elon said that they could start shipping Optimus bot units as early as 2025. In my opinion, that won't happen. I think the hardware is really, really there. I think the software side of it needs some more developments first, but maybe what they mean, and if you know the answer to this, put it in the comments below. What they might mean is actually they will start allowing the bot in factories to do very basic, useful work like moving boxes, stuff like that in 2025. But yeah, no way a mass rollout or rollout to the homes. I think that would be, if they achieve that, that would be incredible but I just don't see that happening myself, not in 2025. They said we should expect to see more bot progress video updates coming, which is exciting. We love to see them. We had the recent one of the laundry, folding the t-shirt. Something to say about that video, it wasn't completely working autonomously, so just remember that. But yeah, what we are seeing is the capabilities in the hardware is really, really strong. And I very much believe it when they say that at some point in the future, the bot will be able to thread a needle. This is not new information from yesterday's call. Like Elon has said this before, but he reiterated that Optimus, the Tesla bot, has the potential to far exceed all other Tesla business areas combined. It makes sense. It is going to be the largest area of Tesla in the future. Like right now, the largest area by revenue, by production, whatever, is the EV, are their EVs, but that will quickly change. Come 2030, it will be a completely different picture, and I absolutely believe him. I think the humanoid robot, the potential that it has, the total addressable market that it has, the value that it can provide businesses and the average person, incredible. And because of that, bearing in mind, they have to execute on the actual doing it. It's all well and good saying that the bot will be this, that, and that. We need to see it happen, and we are seeing it happen. But I do think that it will be the biggest driver of growth that Tesla's ever had. And it will be the biggest chance that Tesla's ever had to take them to be the most, if not one of the most valuable companies in the entire world. When you look at what the bot could do to civilization and you break down some of the numbers that are possible, it's honestly mind-blowing. Just some other quick things that I want to highlight before we end the video. I'm not going to spend long talking about these. So the Model 3 refresh is now available globally. Elon and the team seem very optimistic for 2024. And I think that makes a lot of sense with everything that they're working on. Hopefully the macro will be more favorable for them this year and we can see the benefits of that. And then just lastly, about this whole compensation plan, voting right that's been spoken about in terms of Elon recently. I think it was very, very clear from when he first tweeted this that he's not necessarily looking for more money. He just wants to be able to influence Tesla more so because of the AI advancements that they're making. They seem to now be on the cusp whereby this stuff is getting really powerful, and he doesn't want to be overthrown by the wrong people. And it makes complete sense. So he said that he sees the potential to create an AI and robotics like mega company. Like they are doing that. And he doesn't want to be randomly voted out and given less rights by other people. Like it makes sense. So he's not necessarily looking for the economic reward. He just wants to know that he has a strong influence, but he doesn't want control. He's made that very clear as well. So maybe like a dual class share, would be beneficial here, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens. With that said, I hope this was useful. If you didn't manage to catch the earnings yourself or you just wanted a little recap, let me know what your highlights from it were in the comments below. And of course, let me know if you will or will not be buying the potential Tesla dip. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video.